Hi everyone, my name is Alfurqan. On this video, I'm gonna tell you there's a web that you can practice your English easily. Come on, you already know what it is. Yes, it is Duolingo.com. And then here is my research about this web. Let's check it out.
In today's globalized world, being proficient in English opens up many opportunities, whether for work, travel, or connecting with people from different cultures. One of the core skills required to master any language, especially English, is listening. But improving listening skills can be tough, especially if you don't live in an English-speaking environment. Thankfully, platforms like Duolingo provide an accessible and fun way to practice listening. Let's dive into how you can use Duolingo.com to enhance your English listening skills. What is Duolingo and why use it? Duolingo has become one of the most popular language learning platforms worldwide. With its user-friendly design and bite-sized lessons, it makes learning a new language feel more like a game than a chore. Each lesson covers different aspects of language learning, including reading, writing, speaking, and most importantly for us, listening. But why is listening so crucial when learning English? Listening is the key to understanding native speakers, grasping new vocabulary, and familiarizing yourself with different accents. It's also the foundation for good pronunciation, because what you hear shapes how you speak. Duolingo's features that support listening skills. So, how exactly does Duolingo help with listening practice? Let's explore some of its standout features that support this skill. Listening-focused exercises. Many Duolingo lessons incorporate listening-based tasks where you hear a sentence or phrase in English and have to either translate it or type out what you hear. These exercises focus your attention on English sounds and sentence structure. This real-time listening practice is great for developing your ear for the language, especially at the beginner and intermediate levels. Variety of accents and speech. One of the unique aspects of Duolingo is the variety of English accents it introduces. You might hear a sentence spoken in an American accent in one lesson, and a British accent in the next. This variety is incredibly helpful because, in real life, English is spoken with many different accents, and Duolingo gives you a chance to get used to that diversity. Also, you can slow down the audio by clicking a small turtle icon, which lets you listen to the sentence at a more relaxed pace. This feature is perfect for learners who need to focus on understanding each word. Duolingo Stories for listening comprehension. Duolingo has a feature called Duolingo Stories, which is like a mini audiobook series designed specifically for language learners. These stories engage you in real-world scenarios and conversations, and you're asked to answer questions about what you hear. The narrators speak clearly, but naturally, which helps you develop your listening comprehension while also teaching you practical vocabulary. Combining listening and speaking. While the primary focus of this article is on listening, it's worth noting that Duolingo cleverly integrates listening with speaking exercises. After hearing a sentence, you're often asked to repeat it. This combination reinforces what you've just heard and ensures you're internalizing the correct pronunciation. Listening exercises built right in. One thing that sets Duolingo apart is how naturally it incorporates listening practice. Almost every lesson requires you to listen to something, whether it's a simple sentence like, "She is walking the dog," or something a bit more complicated. These exercises force you to tune into the sounds of English and figure out how the words fit together. For beginners, this type of structured listening is great because it lets you hear each word clearly. But as you get more comfortable, you can speed things up and challenge yourself to follow along without slowing the audio down. Learning different English accents. Another cool feature of Duolingo is that it exposes you to different English accents, mostly American and British. This is super useful because English speakers come from all over the world, and getting used to various accents helps you prepare for real-life situations. Whether you're watching movies, traveling, or chatting with someone from another country, the variety of accents on Duolingo gives you a head start in understanding different ways people speak English. Stories that bring listening to life. One of Duolingo's hidden gems is its Duolingo Stories. These short, interactive stories are not only fun but also an excellent way to improve your listening skills in real-world contexts. Imagine listening to a conversation between two friends planning their weekend, then answering questions about what you just heard. It's like listening to a mini-drama where you're part of the action, which makes the learning experience much more engaging. These stories also feature native speakers, so you get used to the rhythm and flow of how people actually talk, not just textbook sentences. Plus, they come with handy visuals and translations, so you won't get lost even if you miss a word or two. Speaking to reinforce listening, a lot of Duolingo's speaking exercises are directly tied to listening practice. You'll listen to a phrase and then repeat it, which helps train both your ears and your mouth. By mimicking what you hear, you'll start to pick up on the subtleties of pronunciation and intonation, which will make it easier to understand when someone is speaking English at full speed. Plus, this practice helps you develop a better accent over time. What else can you do to maximize your listening skills on Duolingo's features? Customizing your lessons to focus on listening. One of the things I love about Duolingo is that you can customize your learning experience. If listening is where you need the most work, you can easily focus on it. Duolingo's Practice Hub identifies areas where you're struggling and lets you practice those more. So if you keep having trouble with a particular type of listening task or vocabulary, Duolingo will give you extra practice in those areas until you get the hang of it. You can also toggle between slow and regular audio. This is great for beginners who need that extra time to process each word. But as you improve, try challenging yourself to listen at regular speed to mimic real-life conversations. Duolingo podcasts for a real-world listening experience. If you're ready to take your listening skills beyond the basic lessons, try out Duolingo podcasts. These podcasts feature native English speakers telling fascinating stories, and they're designed to be learner-friendly. The pacing is slower than normal podcasts, with explanations sprinkled in, so it's a great way to ease into listening to more natural, conversational English. Podcasts are perfect for practicing understanding longer narratives, and since they cover topics from around the world, you'll also get a taste of different cultures. It's like listening to a great story while improving your skills at the same time. Joining Duolingo events to practice listening live. Another way to up your listening game is by joining Duolingo events. These are virtual or in-person meetups where you can chat with other learners and native speakers in real time. Listening to live conversation is much more challenging than Duolingo's structured audio exercises, but it's also a lot more rewarding. During these events, you'll get exposed to different speeds, accents, and slang, which is great practice for real-world interactions. Plus, you'll get to practice speaking too, which helps reinforce what you've been working on in your listening lessons. Tracking your progress and setting goals. One of the things that can help you stay motivated is seeing how far you've come. Duolingo makes it easy with progress tracking. You can see exactly how much time you've spent on listening exercises and how your skills have improved over time. If you notice that listening is still an area where you struggle, you can adjust your daily routine to focus more on that. Plus, it's really satisfying to watch your progress chart go up. Combining Duolingo with other resources. While Duolingo is awesome for structured learning, it's always a good idea to mix things up. Try adding other listening resources into your routine. Watching TV shows or movies in English with subtitles, listening to English songs, or tuning into podcasts about topics that interest you can expose you to faster, more casual speech. Duolingo gives you a great foundation, but hearing how people speak naturally in everyday conversations will take your listening skills to the next level. Plus, it's a fun way to practice without feeling like you're studying. How to maximize your listening practice on Duolingo. Now that you know how Duolingo supports listening skills, here are some tips to make the most of it. Practice daily. As with any skill, consistency is key. Aim to spend at least 10 to 15 minutes a day on Duolingo. The more frequently you listen to English, the faster your brain adapts to the sounds and patterns of the language. Use the slow mode when necessary. If you're struggling to understand a sentence, use Duolingo's slow mode feature. This breaks down each word, allowing you to focus on its pronunciation. Once you feel more confident, switch back to the normal speed to challenge yourself. Repeat lessons. Don't hesitate to revisit completed lessons, especially ones with a lot of audio exercises. Repetition is a powerful tool in language learning. By repeating lessons, you solidify vocabulary and improve your listening comprehension. Supplement with external listening resources. Duolingo is a great tool, but to really supercharge your listening skills, try combining it with other resources. English podcasts, YouTube videos, and audiobooks offer authentic listening experiences. Duolingo provides a solid foundation, but real-world listening requires exposure to more natural and fast-paced speech. Pros and cons of using Duolingo for listening skills. Advantages: free and accessible. Duolingo is available for free, making it accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Game-like learning. Its gamified structure keeps you motivated with streaks, points, and rewards. On-the-go learning. With its mobile app, you can practice listening skills anywhere, on the bus, during a break, or even while waiting in line. Limitations. Limited real-world conversational practice. While Duolingo provides great listening exercises, it doesn't fully simulate real-life conversations, which can often be much faster and less clear than the platform's audio. Not enough dialect diversity. While Duolingo offers some accent variety, it doesn't expose learners to all English dialects. You might still struggle when you encounter unfamiliar regional accents. Controlled listening environment. Duolingo's audio exercises are clear and controlled, which is ideal for learners. However, real-world conversations are often messier, with background noise or unclear pronunciation, which Duolingo doesn't fully replicate. Wrapping up, Duolingo is a fantastic tool for improving your English listening skills. Its gamified structure makes learning fun, while the variety of listening exercises keeps you engaged. By practicing regularly, using the slow mode, and supplementing your learning with other resources, you can make significant progress in understanding English through listening. That said, remember to step outside Duolingo from time to time. Real-world English is fast-paced and filled with nuances that Duolingo can't always capture. Use it as a foundation, but don't forget to challenge yourself with more complex listening tasks, like watching English movies or listening to native podcasts. Happy learning!